Misty mountains cold.
Is this that Hobbit shit?
Hi, welcome to another special episode of That Hobbit Shit. I'm Mike.
I'm Corey.
Hey, Corey, what are we inflicting upon ourselves today?
Mike, we are discussing the fact that we've inflicted episode 4 of season 2 of the Rings of POOer on ourselves today.
I watched it last night. What about you?
I watched half of it last night, and then the rest of it this afternoon.
Is that like when you eat a little bit of cake and you're like, I'm gonna save that. I don't want to eat it all at once.
It's like when you eat a little bit of cake and you say, I'm fat, I hate myself, and then you come back to it and hurt yourself over and over and over. Should we go to the Green Dragon, Mike?
I think we have to.
But the only food for the brave and true comes from the Green Dragon.
Well, welcome to the Green Dragon, the happiest place on this episode. This is the segment where we discuss the beers we've selected. Mike, since we're inflicting ourselves, what are you drinking?
All right, I'm just pouring it here, so bear with me. I am drinking, I know I was going to get ridiculous beers, but I haven't been back to the beer store.
Oh, fair enough, yeah.
So I'm drinking a windswept West Coast IPA.
Oh.
In honor of the wee hobbits who somehow survived a 150-foot fall.
That's very appropriate. That's a very good connection, Mike.
It's a full-bodied West Coast IPA from Salt Spring Island Brewing Company.
Oh, Salt Spring Island Brewing Company. I've personally been there.
Yeah, I picked it up there, actually.
Oh, that's sweet. Yeah.
Cool enough. Yeah.
Wow.
It's been a sitting in the fridge.
That's cool. That's an awesome beer to be used on an occasion like this.
It's Friday.
Oh yeah, fair enough. That's true. That's Friday, and we have finished watching the episode. So
it is very tasty. Very heavy IPA. It's 7%.
Oh yeah. 7%. Eh?
You know what I was going to do, Corey? Since we had Ents, I was thinking, what if I have a little bit of edible before this episode, and then I didn't feel like it after I saw the Ents.
That makes perfect sense to me, actually.
I didn't want to celebrate it.
No, there's no reason to celebrate it. I don't want to get into spoilers, but I don't even think we're going to see the Ents ever again in this series.
Doesn't seem like it. No. So what are you drinking?
In the spirit of finding ridiculous beers, the most ridiculous beer that has passed into my orbit recently, Michael, is a beer that has gone far too far. It has the audacity to be quintuple hopped. It's fucking bullshit, Mike. It's a quintuple IPA. It is 13.5%. It's actually not overly bitter, and I don't have an IBU, but I don't think it would be a record-breaking IBU. But it is from Third Moon Brewing. It is called Quintuple Continuous Blood. Because I continuously bled while I was watching this episode.
I feel like you hated this episode a lot more than me, so let's get into it.
Yeah, it got personal for me, Mike. So yeah, sure, let's get into it.
Okay. So we start out with Galadriel needlessly arguing with Elrond about who's going on their little fellowship trip.
Yes.
And it turns out it is a fellowship trip, and we get reshots of some of the movie shots of the fellowship traveling through the mountains.
Yes.
They arrive at a broken bridge, and we find out that they don't know what the hell the Barrow Downs are somehow.
Yes.
But Galadriel's ring tells her there's Barrow Downs in this area.
Her ring is constantly whispering to her.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And then we flip over to not Gandalf, who is wandering along and runs into Tim Bombadil.
You've already softened this for me.
Well, Tim Bombadil fucks with him a bit using some wind magic. And Gandalf gets himself trapped in Old Man, not Willow, Ironwood? Old Man Ironwood.
Yeah, I thought it was an olive tree, but whatever.
There was no, but he did try to steal one of its branches to be his new staff. He's searching for a staff, Corey.
He's a little inept at life in general, but yes, he is searching for a staff.
Yeah, I have questions about not Gandalf after.
One of my notes was that Gandalf, who still is not named Gandalf, by the way, but anyway, please continue.
We then flip over to the hobbits, who have somehow the hobbits have returned.
Yeah.
They found another hobbit who's even stupider than is that inappropriate to say?
No, I think they meant to depict him as quite stupid.
He's even stupider than the hobbits we're used to.
I don't understand why his ears are so big, but whatever.
I don't know. And he leads them into his village, and these hobbits have a village, and they don't like our hobbits very much. We take them captive. Flashback to Tim Bombadil giving Gandalf a bath and talking to nobody in particular while he does so. They chit chat a bit about this and that. Tim Bombadil explains to Gandalf there's a dark wizard Istari that has wandered through in the past. We then pop over to the Barrow Downs where the elves are fighting the ghosts of men. Somehow they're affected by the ghosts of men in this iteration of Middle-earth. And Elrond remembers he can reach into a crypt and grab a sword, so he grabs one of those and kills the Barrow-wights. One of the elves was killed in the process. I didn't see when it happened, but it happened.
He got grabbed by some chains, and then there was like a smashing sound.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay, I was waiting for like one of them to be dragged below ground or something.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he got dragged.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you went to the bathroom.
Yeah, maybe I zoned out. They had his body though. He didn't get like taken away, or did they retrieve it from the crypt?
I don't know.
Okay. And I thought the Barrow-wights like captured people and attacked them while they were asleep.
Yes, that is what we know about Barrow-wights so far. We've never seen them ghost ambushing like this before,
Yeah.
but who knows? It was foggy the day that Frodo was there, so maybe this is exactly what happened, Mike.
You missed them doing their Dr. Octopus impressions.
Precisely. Hello, Peter.
I think I skipped over something. So Isildur and I can't remember that elf's name.
Arondir.
Yes, they go looking for Theo.
Uh-huh.
And they get attacked by a nameless thing from the deep. And it eats them.
Correct.
It eats them, and then the elf rips it open from the inside and cuts off part of its flesh, and they're going to eat it for dinner.
Yeah, I can't help but think that would be like perhaps the most profound poison in Middle Earth, but whatever.
An elf would know. The new hobbits made friends with the other hobbits, and the other hobbits told the scoundrels who were looking for them that they weren't their man. We then flash back to the elf funeral.
Oh yeah.
This is when my attention started to wane. There was an Entwife, Corey, and deals were made with the Ents, and a bunch of the Wildmen were let loose because apparently the Ents, even though they had killed a few Wildmen, they weren't really up to killing all of them.
You sound unsure, Mike.
Well, the one they did kill, they really killed. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, they sure did.
And
I don't understand any of this, so don't take my criticism.
Okay. And then I stopped taking notes. So can you pick up from there?
Okay. Arondir makes friends with the two Ents, and Theo is freed, and everyone is happy, I guess, except Isildur because he got dumped by his lady friend. His lady friend
who repeatedly told him she was looking for her betrothed.
Yeah, and then her betrothed almost got Ent murdered, but nope. And then Elrond and Galadriel discover that Adar has gone to war towards Eregion, and Galadriel gives her ring to Elrond so he can flee with it, and Galadriel is captured by Adar after a brief murder spree.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She just jumped at the chance to kill orcs.
Yes, she's fairly bloodlusty. Elrond heads back to Lindon and Gilgalad to tell him about the orcs, rather than trying to get to Eregion and warn Celebrimbor that he is about to be murdered by 1 million orcs.
Probably should have split up, eh? There were still 4 elves left.
Yeah, yeah. They probably really should have tried to warn the Elven city that is about to be besieged, who have no idea they're about to be besieged.
Maybe they brought more than 1 horse, eh?
Why were the orcs shooting that 1 horse? Was that the elves' horse?
I don't know, because they didn't have horses really, but then they did.
But there was also Isildur's horse who they never got back. So was that supposed to be Isildur's horse?
Why'd they have it?
I don't know, Mike. My head hurts.
Did Isildur not get his horse back? What was his name? Derek?
Barrack, I think, or something.
Derek. It was Derek.
Was it Derek? Yeah, okay.
Derek the horse.
Derek the horse, Tim the Bombadil. Okay, yeah, that's the whole description. That's the the only thing I want to add is that I thought the elves were immediately red shirts.
I thought so too.
So yeah, on to notes.
What do I have for notes? Okay, so I wrote this thinking something was going to happen, but it didn't happen. Tom Bombadil sees that dark wizard on his way or something. He remember the horse whinnies, and he looks out the window and says, "We're not alone."
Oh yeah.
But then nothing happens.
Yeah, you're right. Nothing does happen.
So I wrote this note thinking, I wrote, attacking Tom Bombadil seems like a bad idea, but then nothing came of that.
Nope, nothing did come of that. Well, are we going to talk about Tom Bombadil, Mike?
Yeah, we probably should, eh?
I died a little inside.
He was a very milquetoast Tom Bombadil.
Yeah. And if you're a longtime listener of the show, you know that Tom Bombadil has always been my favorite character in The Lord of the Rings. Like right from the first time I read it, I was like, I love Tom Bombadil. And they just he plagiarized himself. I don't understand. He was just repeating lines from the Fellowship and then doing exactly what he did in the Fellowship. But this is thousands of years earlier.
Yeah, I mean, if the movies are the only depiction of him and they wanted to get in some of his real Tolkien stuff, I can give that a pass.
Well, I think they were trying to do that with the Barrow Downs as well.
Yeah, I think so. I think this seemed like the cleanup episode.
Yes.
It seemed like this Tom Bombadil, there were a lot of notes from corporate before they filmed.
Yeah, it kind of reeks of notes from corporate.
Yeah, he just is like they really ran the eraser over him a couple of times and cleaned him up.
Well, it's also like this has actually been sort of percolating in my mind since the first episode. But like, have you noticed that every character, except pretty much for the main characters, just seem to know like too much about everything and everything around them? Like, I don't know, like the stewards know what Harfoots are, but not vice versa. And like, yeah, and like the beard guy, the dark wizard, knows what an Istari is, but the actual Istari that is one of the main characters doesn't know what he is. And like,
I read a couple Istari theories that you're gonna love.
Oh boy, yeah, okay. Well, okay. Let me hit you with a theory that I got before we get into that, Mike.
Yep.
So to me, this is a fairly poor depiction of the Second Age. To me, like it just doesn't seem like it's before like the Peter Jackson trilogy. It seems like it's I don't know, maybe after the Peter Jackson trilogy, because Mike, I think based on the appearance of Tom Bombadil and the shabby quality of all the peoples and places in Middle Earth, that this is in fact the nightmare Fourth Age, in which the withering of all woods takes place and a tyrant Bombadil steps forth as both the original and the final evil to plague the world.
I was with you for a bit there.
Yeah, you can completely ignore me if you want.
But I kind of like the majesty of Middle Earth just isn't there at all.
No, it's totally not.
And it doesn't seem like it's going to be built. Like the kings of men who have to get rings, when the hell is that going to happen?
Yeah, exactly. And also, yeah, even just the fact that Isildur was supposed to be like a king of men, but he's just like the son of some guy.
Yeah,
And he's sort of
yeah.
lost in the wilderness. Yeah.
His father should be coming back, and they should establish Gondor.
They should. Yeah. But yeah,
But
but yeah,
they're gonna have to build Gondor, and and
uh-huh.
nothing we've seen from these people so far has shown us that they're capable of building like the greatest kingdoms in Middle Earth after like where's Gondolin? Gondolin's been destroyed, but like there's no remnants of the elves creating anything like that.
No, no, definitely not. Yeah. I think I think they kind of whiffed on like the because it's the second age should be so much grander and so much more magical because there is so much more magic and stuff in the world, and there's so much more.
Yeah, the elves are just hanging around this one tree,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah, they're kind of just like milling about. I also kind of noticed they showed I guess it was Lyndon before Galadriel and Elrond left today, and there there was like all the elf extras were like honestly just wandering around. Like they have nothing to do with themselves.
Well, to be fair, I think that's what elves do from day to day. Imagine how slow they are with everything because time moves at a different pace for them.
I suppose I kind of imagine them all like painting masterpieces and playing lyres and like I don't
That's
know, like having little Olympics and stuff. It's like the height of everything we think like the Greeks were or something. I don't
yeah.
know.
Okay, so do you want the Astare theories I read?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I'll do them in order from ideal to the least ideal. Um, not Gandalf and not Sauron, or Saruman, sorry, are the two blue wizards.
Oh, okay.
So the not Saruman arrived first and has figured everything out and gone evil.
Yes.
And then he saw some sign that not Gandalf landed.
Right. Oh,
That
that's why
would
they don't have names.
yeah,
Oh, shit.
that would be the best. But there's so many red herrings for him being Gandalf. Like, did you when the hobbits were talking about him and they said, "Is he a grand elf?"
Fuck, you know what? I didn't even notice that. And did you sent me that text today? Oh, fuck. Oh, that went right over my head. That's so stupid. Sorry,
There's
quick side note. I'm really glad that the when they're talking about the stupid Hobbit prophecy, that she didn't say, and this land was supposed to be called the Shire.
oh my god.
I'm so glad they didn't say that.
I'm gonna admit I zoned out for all the Hobbit stuff.
It's just they're just digging themselves deeper and deeper, man. You didn't miss anything.
I don't enjoy any of it. They're too goofy, and it's such a tonal shift from the rest of the show.
Yep. Yeah, definitely. And
Uh,
it's also like kind of uninteresting too. Like I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
really care.
that's another point. I think I didn't mind it so much in season one, and somehow it's gotten goofier this season.
Well, yeah, the guy with the mask specifically says that the storm that not Gandalf conjured killed two of his men, like
Yeah,
actually ended their lives, and then the hobbits woke up on flat rock and were absolutely unharmed.
they're hardy people.
Uh-huh.
So the other theory of the Astari is
Yes.
that this is Gandalf and this is Saruman, and they're destined to just keep falling into this pattern of good and evil, and then their memory wiped before they return to Middle Earth again.
Oh, like they're sort of sent back and forth like through fire and death again and again. Is that like what
Yeah,
they're getting? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think I like the Blue Wizard theory better.
yeah. Also, if that guy's just a blue wizard and this is Gandalf, that's fine.
Actually, yeah, that would be fine. Because if he is Saruman, if the Dark Wizard is Saruman, and then like it means everybody in Middle Earth is so gullible,
Yeah,
and like anyone can say and do whatever they want. But actually, that brings me back to a specific example of everyone being really gullible. The girl, oh, I wrote down her name, so I knew I would forget it.
Astoril,
Something like that.
the wild man woman.
Yeah, Estrid. Estrid, I think is her name. Yeah, she is in like shackles for like a minute, and then she's out of shackles, and like they trust her, and then they don't trust her, and then they trust her, and they don't trust her. Like it's all, it's all like it all happens and then is resolved so quickly.
there's a lot of plot armor on certain characters too. Like she gets hit so hard by that Ent wife and lands on a rock.
Yeah. Yeah, but then has to
Like
wake up.
I just thought, well, she's dead. Like
And Isildur was so hurt too when her betrothed showed up, and it's like you guys have only known each other for like 18 hours,
yeah.
and Isildur is supposed to live for like 200 years. Like I don't
Oh
know,
yeah.
man.
I guess he's got a while where he can learn like how to build things. How come
Well, yeah,
his father appears so old? Did he have kids really late in life?
like past 90.
Yeah, yeah. He's probably 100 and something.
I would assume so, yeah. But I mean, yeah, they do have to build the greatest civilization ever within their lifetimes.
Yeah, his father's like looks like he's 50, maybe.
Yeah, he's
And like
well, he's a good looking guy, Mike.
seafaring. No, yeah, he's not, but he looks a little rugged,
Yeah. Did you have any more theories? Was it just the two?
Those are the two theories. The only other one was that it's Gandalf and a blue wizard.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I also read someone. Okay, so Tom Bombadil is meant to introduce the Astari to Middle Earth and help them find their powers.
Right.
So I hope we get to see him meet Radagast.
How come there's no theory that the Dark Wizard is actually Radagast and he just hasn't discovered birds yet?
Good point. What if it was Radagast and introduced him to mushrooms?
That would fall in line with the goofiness that they seem to be going for periodically.
They might do that, and then Amazon will introduce Amazon branded magic mushrooms.
Oh my God, you're right.
With the reveal.
Wow, that's a really good prediction, Mike.
Thank you.
I'll give you $5 Canadian if that comes to pass.
Okay.
Okay. Tom Bombadil though, like
Bombadilio.
Yeah, it's Tim Bimbadal. Him knowing what like the Astari's purpose is and like guiding Gandalf and being like, you have to face whoever, and whoever is also. I know everybody hates Tom Bombadil because he supposedly breaks the lore a little bit, but that's breaking the lore of Tom Bombadil because he's supposed to be so completely separate from everything in Middle Earth.
Yeah, so aloof. I'm really torn on that one. I kind of like him being given a task and a place, but like it also completely breaks his character.
Yeah, it makes him. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I think if I were to sit down and think of like, and this was going through my mind as the episode unfolded in front of me. If I thought of like exactly what I would not want them to do with Tom Bombadil, I think is exactly what they did with Tom Bombadil.
They could show like one of the gods going down and convincing Bombadil that he's got to be serious for a second.
That would actually make a lot more sense than him just being like, "Oh, I know what you're supposed to do. I'm down with God." Like, I don't know. Yeah, because we were deep diving. I guess back to the Madam House. About like Bombadil theories and like the history of Tom Bombadil or whatever. And one of the ideas is that like he existed as soon as the world existed. So like he was in the world before the gods were in the world. So he is sort of like separate.
Yeah.
Like he is genuinely separate from like the goings on of the Valar and the elves and the men and all that kind of stuff. Like he just doesn't really care. I guess he's like the spirit of the world.
Yeah, that's my favorite theory about him.
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense too. That's why like he is Tom Bombadil is the master. But I don't know.
He's the eldest.
Yeah.
If we got Tom, we have to be happy that we got something.
No, Mike, we don't. What do you think of the Entwives? What do you think of them besmirching the memory of the Entwives?
Okay. I didn't mind the way the Ents looked.
Okay.
But I didn't like their voices. And I just didn't like the scene at all. But they look kind of cool.
Yeah, they were cool. I thought they were cool variation on the Peter Jackson Ents. Like it was Ents that we had not seen before, which is cool. But again, it was another thing that was just like resolved so unnecessarily quickly. Like,
Yeah, they were just shoehorned in.
yeah,
Um,
and they probably won't come back.
Probably not. It would have been nice to see like there's no like world building shots. Like it would be cool to see some Antwives just planting a new forest, you know? Just like
Yeah.
as a closing shot as opposed to that awful song we got.
Yes, yeah, I have a note about that song. The other thing that killed me inside slightly. Well, I always like to think too of the Entwives, because Treebeard, like, I think he says like he only remembers their eyes or something like that. Like he remembers so little about them that for one thing, it kind of makes me think that they wouldn't have seen each other even as far back as the Second Age. But also, I just imagine them being so different than the Ents instead of just like girl Ents.
Right. Um, yeah, they should have looked a lot different.
Yeah, like so,
And
almost a different species in a way, but
they're you just reminded me their eyes are so wrong.
yeah, the eyes of all the ants is a really important part in the actual narrative.
Yeah, I forgot. Well, like I liked the design, but now I'm thinking they should have done something with the eyes. Like they're just black holes.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Well, yeah, that's the thing. They were cool variation on the Peter Jackson ents. However, the Peter Jackson ents from 20 years ago were animated better,
Yeah,
which is funny because Amazon has like all the money in the world.
yeah, but they're completely CG, where the Peter Jackson ones were. At least some of them were built based on actual models and
Right.
miniatures and
Yeah.
pictures. And I think there was a big puppet used for Treebeard's face, I believe.
Oh, that's cool. That would be really cool. I mean, and that would make sense from like the Weta Workshop kind of standpoint.
Yeah. Corey, we've got 5 minutes left.
Do you want to wrap this up, or do you want to start another Zoom and just talk it out, or?
I don't want to talk about this for more than 5 minutes.
Okay, sweet. I think that actually kind of has exhausted all of my points. Sorry?
My last point is who tore those wild men apart? And it couldn't have been the Ents based on their humane treatment of the others.
Oh yeah, they didn't put them in a cage. Yeah, I don't know.
They ripped them to shreds.
Yeah, one of them had his arm ripped off.
Yeah, his arm and like his whole torso was bashed in. I don't know if you got that.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal actually. Yeah, so is that Entwives, or Entwives just absolutely murderous?
It could be. And
This is it's not a good depiction of women in this series, man. Like Galadriel will kill anybody at the drop of a hat. The Entwives are just ripping people apart.
they're faux strong women, Corey.
Yeah, exactly.
My last note is what the fuck was up with that song at the end?
That made me so mad. It was the Goldberry poem.
Is that what it was? But
It was, yeah. No, it's like it's the song. It might even be in the like the Tales from the Perilous Realm. It might not be from the Lord of the Rings, but it's the song about Goldberry.
Okay.
How she is the river daughter.
How come we didn't get to see Goldberry?
Well, they hinted at that in the dumbest possible way, like when not Gandalf was like, "Were you talking to someone? I thought I heard a woman."
Yeah, there was a little bit of singing and then
Yeah.
nothing. Maybe we'll see her next time. Probably not. Can you end this episode with that song if you can find it? I'll try to find it too.
I guess I actually the stupid Amazon X-ray thing when you pause.
Yeah.
Which I actually really don't like because I paused it at one point early on and it said a guy who played an orc ravager, but no orcs had shown up in the episode yet, and I was like,
God.
Fucking spoiler alert.
Yeah, I can never get to work when I want it to work.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah, I wanted to see what the song was, and I was not going to sit through the whole credits. I'm sorry.
No.
Yes.
We'll IMDb it and find it.
Yeah, it's
I hope we can add to the end of this.
just to make ourselves angry.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I guess we better wrap this up then. Mike, this train wreck's only going to get train wreckier.
I think so. I think they're halfway through the season.
Oh man.
And I think things are going to start tightening up from here.
Okay. I would be okay with them tightening up. I am skeptical that they will. They've had 4 hours and like what's even happened?
Well, Galadriel has an insatiable bloodlust.
And also, rings of power are transferable. Remember that.
Everyone's having an awful time. Have you noticed that?
That's another thing about the second age. It's like, yeah, it's so miserable. It's like everything has declined to such a point, and they're all talking about the past. And I'm like, the world's only a couple thousand years old, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna continue ranting, so maybe I should just do the outro.
Okay.
Thank you for listening. You'll see us again when we do the next episode or two of the Rings of POOer. You can find us on Instagram at that Hobbit shit, on Twitter at Hobbit shit. You can find us on patreon.com/that Hobbit shit, and there is our email, thathobbitshit@gmail.com. I guess that's all that there is to say. I'm upset, Mike.
It'll be okay.
Okay, well, fair enough then. I guess I'm Corey.
I'm Mike.
May the hair on your toes
tours never fall.
never Harfoot.
Now let the song begin. Let us sing together.